Would you work with me? It may take a few minutes to actually start broadcasting. Copy. Now I'm going to post this in a link on the page. Okay, come on, where's my posts? Yes, group. I'm posting this in the group as we speak. You think I should tag Heather? Because she does not want to miss this. Here we go. Oh, I've got 2 viewers. Hi, viewers. Okay. I'd like you to know that I cannot see comments that well. Oh, I've got 2 viewers. Hi, viewers. Okay. I'd like you to know that I cannot see comments that well. That's why the computer's here. That way I can view. If you want to send me questions about anything, PM me. I'll see it a whole lot faster. Now, we have a ton of fun stuff planned. I have my box of goodies, which you're really not going to want to miss. And my bag of surprises. I can start y'all off. Come on. You need to come here. Step up. Stay. Stay. Here we go. Stay. There's my partner in crime. These are the toys that he tears up all the time, so he's the reason why I started making toys in the first place. There you go. Let's start with the easiest. One of the easiest things you can always do. Go to the dollar store. Pick up some of these. This is what they look like. They're shreds. They do nothing but shred. What you can do with these is you can put them on perches. You can tighten them up, squeeze them on the perches, and straighten them back out. And they'll do nothing but chew on them. It's fantastic. They're perfect shredder toys. They're always lots of fun for them. Lots and lots of fun. You cannot miss that. Alright, here we have a piece of wire. Just plain Jane, ordinary wire. You can get these at a dollar store. Just be sure to remove the center metal piece that keeps it on. It's right here. What you want to do, take the wire off. And remove the piece. Throw that away in the garbage can. Now you're left with just you just start feeding the wire. Sure I got it long enough. Barely. This is tricky because if you get your fingers caught, it will end up pulling them. There we go. You just pull the wire out. There's a new toy. That simple. That is a perfect shredder toy. I would recommend you use these shredder toys for medium to small birds, such as teals, parakeets, and things like that. For large birds, I made this several weeks in advance. Sorry, but this takes over 24 hours to make. What you do is you go to your local store and you get bird-safe wood. You soak it in water for 24 to 48 hours, then you mold it together and wire it shut until it dries. And then you have a perfect chew toy. And as you can see, it is very popularly chewed on. One of the best toys I have ever had. Y'all are not going to believe this. It's the most simple. The cup. This is just a plain Jane plastic cup. I keep looking over there because I'm watching for all the comments. You're going to take this. Our little wire. Stick the wire back in. It makes it easier unless you somehow miss it, but today I did not. Here, I just have some beads, wooden beads. I never try to use plastic because plastic beads are just really not that good. And these are rather a little small, even for my taste. So, got this big box here. That's what I keep all my craft stuff in. Got some big beads. I'm going to need the wire for this too. This is why I have a wire threader because sometimes these are a pain in the butt to get through. You just wire it through. The knot that I tie is actually a slide knot. And that means you leave that little bit on there and then you can slide it more closed as it pleases. There you go. You have a paper cup. It can be used as a bell, a swing. You can even decorate and put more beads or even tie toys on here. But I've never actually felt the need, or even my birds even having any interest in any other toys being tied on there. And these are little cutesy things. Very easy shred toys. They're not that expensive. They come in a pack of 9 feet. You can leave them strung. You can unscrew them. You can basically do whatever to them. Fold them whichever way you want. See, dollar store. Very easy, simple toy. It says to unfold the decorations and fan the tissue out. Gently lift this and separating the pieces. Fan them out. Don't lick your fingers, they come apart really easily. Some birds will get a kick out of this. Some birds will run around the house and play with it. And some birds, like that one up there sleeping, won't care at all. You can leave this strung up, or you can separate them bit by bit like I just did. See, half done. Now the other half. Gotta quit licking my fingers so I quit tearing it. Almost done. So who in here has a big bird? I've got several viewers now. Who in here has a big bird? Raise your hand. 3 of them. Well, then I would recommend you leave it strung. Strung up. And all the big one. Because you can string it across a room. Or their cage or something like that. For the smaller birds, you can untie it. This is very easy. It's shreddable paper. It's not going to hurt them. Now, there are some things that you're not going to think about. You're really not going to think about this if it'll come out. This here is just one of these little paper gliders. That's all it is. It is made of very thin wood. So it is perfect for smaller birds to tear and chew and so on and so forth of whatever they want to do with it. You don't have to put it together. Now, this piece right here, this piece is a metal piece. You can take it off. Great. Just like so. You don't necessarily have to follow the instructions. I'm just... You can hang this up. You can punch a hole through it using a needle nose pliers, needles, or a pair of scissors. I mean, it's that thin. Needles, nose pliers, these are mine. I just stuck a hole through it, string it up, and this can be a toy. I mean, it's that easy. Most people don't think about that. So y'all three who have bigger birds, you're wondering, well, my big old cockatoo is just going to eat that in less than 10 seconds. What am I going to do? You get the bigger pack. Still from the dollar store. But they're bigger blocks of wood. Now, this does have glue in it. You can choose to glue, or you can choose not to glue. If you choose to glue, make sure it is a safe glue. Elmer's glue is a bird safe glue. I think I lost one of the pins. Oh, well, no, it didn't come out. This hole in the center is where the rubber band goes. So, I would glue it together. It would be easier. You don't need much. All you need is a drop. See, it'll stay together a whole lot easier. These are the tail pieces. This is the rudder. See, it's not that hard, but you still get your quality. Cheap. Yes, it is cheap. Please note that it is cheap. Make sure you use a safe glue. Do not overglue, because too much will hurt your bird. You just need a dot. These are great shredder toys. I just stuck a little dot. Not very big. Just a barely even little dot. And I lost my leg piece again. It's somewhere around here. Oh, see? Just very little bit. I don't know if you can see that little bit. You don't need a lot. You're not feeding the bird glue. This is Elmer's glue. It is a water-based glue. This is what you learned in kindergarten that you shouldn't be eating. This is what they actually use for bird toys. They sometimes will use wood glue that expands. Well, I wouldn't recommend wood glue on bird toys, but I'm not the bird toy maker for some of those products. You can also use homemade glue, which is a consistency of flour and water. Half a cup of flour to a half a cup of water. You bring it to a boil. And it stays there at a boil for a few minutes. I'm going to set this down so it can just finish drying. And we will check in on that in just a few minutes. So those are some of the new toy stuff that I have. One of the best ways to make perches is to make your own. This is a chunk of wood from a tree that died in my yard. It's mimosa tree. It is bird safe. I soaked it in water for about 48 hours, scraped off the bark, and removed any bugs that might have been in it. Because, well, even though some bugs and protein is good for birds, I don't know where these bugs came from. So, I just got rid of them. The same way with their perch up there. It's all made of the same wood. I scraped it myself. What you do is you drill a hole in it, get a screw that has double sides. Screw one end in, and you have the screw ends, those little knobby things, and a washer. And you have a new bird perch piece. They're all over in my cage. They love it. So how many of you have a shredder at home? Two? Two of you? Okay, two of you. Well, you run a clean sheet of paper through it. And then you run multiple colors of paper and you shred your own paper. And these Chinese toys, you easily just stuff the paper in. Be careful, don't get your finger stuck. And don't mind my hair. I have long hair. It's pulled back. Y'all really can't see that. Pierre will go through this in 2 hours. That's why I buy the big packs of 6. Time for my goodie bag. What is in my goodie bag? Anybody here like camo? I love camo. But unfortunately, we can't use the camo. This is your muffin tin, but the problem with this is it's aluminum lined. Do not use the aluminum lined. I have a 3-year-old who had a birthday party. This is left over. So, and we're using beads, wooden beads, and I'm going to make this special loop that's slidable. I'll slide it down. And I'm just going to take these pliers and I'm going to stick a hole in it. Make sure I can see through it. Make sure it's all clean. And I'm going to attempt to stick the string through, but it's not coming nicely. So when string doesn't come nicely, I get the wire. I use it for feeding and threading. You stick the wire through. Into your little loop here. You got a nice loop. I don't know if you can see that. Nice loop in the wire. And you just stick the string right through it. And you just hang on and pull it through. Now this is going to sink down to the bottom as usual. Now you have the start of a bell toy. Me personally, I want some space in between the bells. So I'm going to pick up another ball or another bead. And I'm going to hold it up at about there. Then I'm going to tie it. So here, now we have a bead tied to the string. And get another one. I'm just going to use the wire. Maybe. No, it's not thick enough. It's maneuverable, but not thick enough. Get myself a hole there. Stick this through. Make a loop. Now, some questions have come up as I'm making this. This is fine. This is not going to hurt the birds. This is a cotton string. It's durable, but it can be broken very easily. I mean, I'm going to pull on it. It's sturdy, but if you were to have a bird bite it, it would probably last a couple minutes. So there is no way for this to get caught. Here, unless the bird panicked and it somehow ended up around the neck. But that's for the owner to keep an eye on, not me. I'm not liable for that. I usually hang these up in well-spaced areas so the birds don't have a chance to get caught. I mean, there's a chance with any toy that it can get caught. It's not just my toys. It's any toy. Now, back to my question over there. One of the owners has asked, it says, I own a macaw. Is there something that can be used like the bell toy for him? Well, these get smaller and they get bigger. You put them in coffee machines or coffee filters. And you can do the same thing with coffee filters. It doesn't have to be just these. I mean, you can put the spaces in between the toys even shorter and smaller if you wanted to. I am just doing them at this one because I already have one. Now, there are mini cups. See? There are mini cups that you can use. And I have some of these already hanging. And I put them very, very close together, and my birds completely love them. They go nuts for them. They chew on them every day. So it is a well-used toy. Do one more here. This is going to be our last little cup here. I really just want to string it. Okay, where's my wire? And there's a toy. I like to take the ends and just tie it off into a string where it can be hung. It's my bag of goodies again. Let's see what's next. Does anybody's bird like to play? Like to play open and close stuff? I see a few. Well, around Easter time, these things called eggs come out. Now this is a giant egg. These have 2 holes here and 2 holes here. I'm going to cut me some string. Myself a little loop. Now, I'm going to use some tape on the table to hold my string. I'm going to string one end through there. Then I'm going to take the other string and I'm going to string it through the other hole. And I'm going to make a knot in it. And pull it all the way down. I'm going to take this other one and string this up. Now, here's the dilemma. If you want to keep it closed, you have to be careful. You do not want your bird's beak or head or something getting stuck. This string isn't known to being that sturdy, but you got to still be aware because you don't want the bird to get stuck. I'm trying to make sure the string is on one side before I make my final tie. I just allow it to lift and... But I go a step further. And I'll go to this side over here. And I'll tie the string to the outside. So what I'm doing is I am preventing a bird from getting caught on accident. So now, you have your little egg toy. You can fill it with goodies, such as shredded paper and treats, things like that, and then you can partially close it, and you hang it in their cage, and they'll go, ooh, new toy, what's in there? Oh, goodies! They're oblivious. It's wonderful. They're completely oblivious. Now, how many people in here honestly think that this is going to be too big for their bird? think I've got one who has a parakeet. Okay, let's see what my magic bag has. Regular size eggs. My favorite thing, what I used to do, is when I had a female cockatiel, and when she'd lay eggs, I'd trade them out for these. I know they're big, but they prevented her from laying more. There's a small hole at the top of each one of these. I would honestly use something to expand them. To a little bit bigger. You know why these actually have holes in them? Is actually when little kids swallow, they'd still be able to breathe. But that's a tiny, tiny hole. I mean, it doesn't seem like that much of a big deal. But it can. It is. For this, you would just use a bead. Tie the bead up. And string it through. If I can find my string. It's vanished on me. Yep, it's completely vanished on me. It went that way. I would say another way to do it is dental floss, but that really isn't that good. You know, get a string. It's going to be stubborn. And you tie it off, and then you would just hang a single one. I would hang the single just because it'd work better that way. And then you can fill it up with goodies and just have it hang open, or even slightly close it and have them open it themselves, creating a game. All birds love games. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Oh, found more string. Something that you normally wouldn't think about. Coin holders. I've got a few of them. You can stuff these and string them up. You can actually get a little bit of entertainment. You could put them all together and make like a loop, but I prefer folding them in half to make that loop. This is where this lovely toy comes in. I want to stick this down here. I'm just going to punch it out. Maybe. Okay, well, I didn't think it'd be that tough. It is that tough. I need my wire. Stick my wire through. Stick my wire back through. Make the loop. Hang the string through and pull through. Again, the same type of tie would be the one that gets tied around the toy. And as you continue with these, my big bag of goodies here, you can use paper shreds and stuff them. These are shredder toys, and these will entertain your birds for a couple of hours. Might need to correct that. These will entertain your birds for a couple of hours after they stop freaking out and getting scared over them. Oh, new toy! Nope, don't want to touch it. Mommy, how dare you give me a new toy? I want to finish stringing this here. Now you can fan these out as you please. You can stuff them as you please with whatever you would like to stuff them with. And it's not going to hurt it. Let's see what else I've got in my big bag of goodies. I've got puzzle pieces. One more. Puzzle pieces. You go to the dollar store and you pick up some puzzle pieces. Now, how are you going to turn this into a toy? Get your string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 loops here. And you knot the ends into a knot. Let's remove the excess. Now down here. And again, I am going to use my trusty art box for this. We have these holes that I put in the puzzles. Loop it through. And tie her off. What are y'all doing up there? I didn't think so. Pierre's trying to be sneaky. Yeah, I heard that. His answer was to make poop. And get our next one. Can you use smaller pieces? Yes. Can you use larger pieces? Yes. You use the pieces that fit your bird. Do not use plastic. Tie it off. There's 2 puzzle pieces down. And what you're essentially doing is you're hanging puzzle pieces, all different shapes, onto a string. For some of you with bigger birds, such as cockatoos, any of y'all with cockatoos? Raise your hand. Now, how many of y'all raised your hand? 3 of y'all raised your hand. This is a one-way video. I cannot see you. Cockatoos, y'all may just want to get the big wooden 3D puzzle pieces. And just give it to them as a toy. What y'all can also do is go to the dollar store and buy the dog toy ropes. I get them for mine. And just let them play with the rope toys. I mean, you go into a pet store and you see a $5 toy, $8, $10 toy. Really, truly, and honestly, all these toys cost maybe $15 total. Now, $15 at a pet store would have bought you a max of 3 toys at $5 each, depending on where you go and depending on what type of toy you got. I mean, eggs, the whole 9 yards. You are saving money and you are making fun for your birds. Ooh, we only have a couple goodies left. Let's see what's next. Okay, everybody, place your bets. Place your bets. I love dealing with cards. It is so easy. Get a couple of these wood beads. Set them out. No, hon, I was only joking. You don't really have to bet on anything. I'm going to use the wire trick. I think I have 7 cards here. And I've got to string them all. Oh, come on, go through. This one's being stubborn. Alright, I've got my 7 cards on the wire here. Let's see if I can loosen these holes up, because now I've got to go back through. Forgive me for my silence. I do concentrate better when I'm focused. Going back through all these cards. What do you think I'm going to do with them once I get it all strung? Hang them up as is. Well, you could, actually. What you could do is actually take your cards and make holes in different locations on them, string them in that manner, and just hang them up. That is a feasible option. That is not what I had planned with them. I do have more cards, though. I'm going to take them and I'm going to tie them in a knot. You know, like the Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tie them in a knot? Well, I just tied them in a knot. My trusty scissors here. Now, here's where it gets fun. Take your wood bead. Tie it on there good. Does anybody know what I'm doing? Take your next bead. Oh, come on, quit being stubborn and go through. Starting to create a fan-like shape. Oh, I didn't double knot it. But you get the idea. This is what is going to create a nice big fan shape. And it's going to continue all the way down. Because that one tore and I am running out of time watching my time. I cannot just refix it. But I do believe we might have enough time to finish off these last two ones. Ping pong balls. For larger birds and even smaller birds. I have poked holes in them. Right here. String them up. I'd recommend you use the wire and get it through a whole lot easier. And there's the alarm right out there. Y'all didn't hear it, but it's a beep sound. It's like 5 or 6 beeps. So my time is coming to an end. So I'm going to do real quick. You string these up and line them up. You can use beads to separate them. They are a fun toy. They are plastic, but isn't bad. And even the goodie bag. All my shreds, you can stuff it in here. And I know that young lady there who is asking questions, she has a cockatoo. And the gentleman who has the macaw. Yeah, even the cockatiel. Are y'all awake up there? Are y'all awake up there? No, they're not. You can stuff this with just plain paper or even shreds. Just stuff it in. Put it like a big present. Because all it is paper and chew stuff. Just make sure there's no metal pieces on the inside. Alright, well unfortunately that's my second alarm. My time is running out now, so I have to go. But next time maybe y'all can message me and let me know what other toys and ideas you think would be good, and I'll explore them and get back with y'all. Alright, bye. Bye, hon. I'll have to see y'all next time. Thank you.